in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to In the Spotlight, the home of unfiltered conversations. This is where real talk is what we do. I am none other than Donna Thompson.
I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and together we are your moderators. Some people call us fearless. Is there a reason why they call us your fearless moderators, Donna?
Because we're unfiltered.
Is that what it is? Well, I tell you,
I don't know.
Talking about unfiltered, we have two friends on tonight, or you can call them guest hosts, whatever you want to call it. Talk about unfiltered. We have Mr. Gary McCook, president of GIFs, and he'll talk to us about that tonight. And we have Dr. Cecelia Lynch-Mitchell, my good friend, and she's going to talk about she's the founder of School Life Ready, and what a big deal that is. Huge. So, Mr. McCook, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Good night, panel. Name is Gary McCook. I'm president and founder of GIFs, which is the Jamaica International Independence Foreign Song Competition. And it's just what it says. We're not in Jamaica anymore, so we have a foreign version of the Independent Song Competition in Jamaica, done by the JCDC. We're in our fourth staging this year, and looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday the 27th at 7 p.m. sharp. We say sharp, we mean sharp. If you come 7:30, you are late. You're going to miss half an hour of the show. So we're going to be at Shiloh High School on Saturday at 7 p.m. Come out and join us. We're going to have 7 artists from around the world, Jamaican artists who are going to come and perform and give us what they have. It's a platform to for them to showcase what they have during our independence celebrations. So it's again JIIFSC. The tickets can be found at jiifsc.com. We also have a raffle going on. It's going to be a live raffle. We have folks who are tuning in now and buying tickets, but on the night we're going to have a raffle, and the drawing is going to be one of the last items on the program. So the prize, 4 days, 3 nights at Couples Resorts, Jamaica. So looking forward to seeing you, and come on down, have some fun with us.
And before we go to the doc, I'm going to show a clip here, and that's what we're talking about, right?
Yes. So here we have this flyer. Basically gives you the keynote speaker each year. What we do is try and identify someone of, I would say, prominence or dominance in the Jamaican environment to come and give a keynote. This year we have Dr. Polly Reed, who is the president of the Jamaica Museum and Cultural Center. we have our good host, Will Hart, who's going to keep us rocking all night. Rhythms of the Caribbean is going to bring us back to some of the cultural things that we miss when we are so far away from home. And our indelible production manager, Parry Hines. The show has to go on, so you have someone who can make it a seamless event. And we have our 7 finalists down there. They're going to be performing some good songs. This year, I'd say the competition that Dr. Lax and the panel has really grown. That this year, I think we have a group of songs where it's going to be difficult for the judge. I always say I'm glad I'm not a judge. Dr. Lax was a judge in year 1, I think in year 2. Difficult task because everybody's going to lay it out on the stage there and for us to see and to enjoy. And everything starts there. All the votes coming up, that's through the window. We're going to have a 5-judge panel of music industry experts who are going to be judging the 7 finalists to determine who is the winner. And thanks to our sponsors there, Fresh FM London, SAT Lending, JN Money, Axim Record. And Axim is Dr. Laxley's brand. Big ups to that. And Royal Caribbean Bakery, Sparkle D's Restaurant. So we have some sponsors there who are trying to help us to, bring this thing to some fruition.
All right. And here's this link right here, Gary. Can you talk to us about this link that I just posted?
So here, this link is where once you click, if you go on jiifsc.com and scroll down, and you click on the buy now or the raffle, this takes you straight there. And the raffle, as I say, 4 days, 3 nights, couples resort in Jamaica. So guys, those who are there looking on, you can, I don't know if you can copy it and paste it, but if you go on jiifsc.com, it will be right there in a simplified version for you to support us. The raffle is one of the vehicles that we're using to try and generate some funds to help us. We are a 501c3, so anything you submit, most likely you can get some write-off. So just join. It's a team. It's a movement. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
So what is good about this link? It will be in the caption on Facebook, so they can actually click on it.
Okay, there you go.
You can go right there and purchase your raffle ticket, right? And what are the costs again? I know you have a special. I know you have a special with that, right? If you can buy 4.
Yes.
4.
Yeah. Well, they're in $5 increments. I can tell you the lowest is $5. I'm going to jump to $100. $100 give you 30 chances. 30 chances. So if it's $50, it's about 15 chances. So it's a great thing. You've got to be in it to win it. So please again click on the link in the Facebook and then let me see when I get off here. I need to see it's the ching 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 just ringing.
Now you started to sound like that song you did, was it Cellular Man or something like that?
Yes.
Awesome. So get out there. We're looking to see you on July 27th at Shiloh High School. And I'm telling you, the last one we had, the one last year, man, was it off the chain. That was something, right? Full house. We're expecting a standing room this time, so you better get out there and get your tickets real quick because they're selling like hotcakes, right? Right, Dr. Cecelia?
It was such an awesome event. Last year was my first, and I said I will never miss another one. It's such a great event. It's so entertaining, so much fun. You get to listen to some of the best guys in the business, as well as Mr. Hart, the MC. Yeah. He keeps you entertained. He himself is just could be a show without the competition. He's so good. So it's really a lot of fun.
Well, a show without the competition. Well, that's a new one. I love that. We're gonna have to take that one, Doc. We're gonna have to take that one. So Donna, what's going on in Donna's world?
Oh, Donna's world is just busy. But all is well in Donna's world. I must say, I just came back from a trip, and all is well. Donna's just busy as usual.
Donna doing the thing, huh?
Mhm.
Well, we have Dr. Cecelia Lynch-Mitchell with us tonight, and she's working on something huge. And she's going to talk to us about it
Yes.
tonight. So, Doc, take it. It's all yours.
Oh my goodness. So I must say, I'm really so excited about my company, which is School Life Ready. So, School Life Ready, as a company, we provide therapeutic services to children, predominantly occupational therapy to children. And we provide consultations to schools and administration. And we have consultation as it pertains to other therapies such as speech therapy, physical therapy, behavioral therapy, as well as we have consultations with psychologists. So, School Life Ready as a company provides therapeutic services. But what I'm really excited about and focused on getting ready for this school year is the School Life Ready therapeutic program, which is going to start in August and runs through the school year. And this program, what it does, it supports children in school to be able to perform any activities that they need to perform in school. But most important, it's for children who have a disability or have learning challenges or even just have an IEP, which is an individualized education plan. So we're here to support not just the child, but the parents, because so many of what a child needs to do, it has to be enhanced by the parents. So our program is one that supports the child and supports the parents and collaborate with other service providers and teachers to give that child everything that child needs to be able to be successful within school and outside of school. So this program, I'm so excited, I'm pumped up. Like, I know so many families need this. I know so many parents need that support to help them, especially if they have a child with a disability or has a child that has an IEP, need that support to help them make it through the school year, because school is not just about grades, right? There's so much involved in school. School involves social skills, language skills, reading skills, math skills, peer relationships, communication between parents and administrators. There's so much that's involved in school life, but School Life Ready is here to help families who need us because we have noticed the need and we're here to help. So, next Tuesday, July 30th, we will be having a webinar and I will be sending all the information out. But whoever wants to register for the webinar, please go to schoollifeready.com and you'll see the button there, register now, register for the webinar. You can also find us on Facebook where you can register for the webinar as well. This is going to be very entertaining. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very educational. It's going to be insightful. It's going to be a resource to help families deal with all aspects of school life. So, the emotional part of it, the physical part of it, the social part of it, everything that's needed to be addressed, we will be able to help a parent and their child. And the good thing is, Everything is tailored to the individual. We're not using any cookie cutter approach. We are here to serve individual children, individual families, and we will be able to help children and help parents reduce a lot of the stress that comes with school. So definitely, everyone, go to schoollifeready.com and register for the webinar where you can hear more information, because it's a program that's going to go through the entire school year. And we have not just webinars, we're going to have podcasts, and we're going to have parent meetings where people can meet up and share ideas and lean on each other, because it takes a village, and we're going to be here to support each other. I'm going to be here as a professional to help provide resources to parents and children. So that's schoollifeready.com.
Mm.
And
Big,
put a link, Laxley.
big stuff, big stuff, big stuff, Doc. What time is the webinar? I know you gave a
The
date.
webinar is 7 p.m., July 30th, 7 p.m.
Hmm. And they can go online and register at the website, and we'll
Yes,
post the website again. Post the website.
yes.
And how important is this webinar, Donna? You want to jump in on that, Donna?
Sure. How important it is, the webinar. I definitely know that Dr. Cecelia, right? This is her passion, of course. And it's definitely going to provide much needed resources and tools for parents who need that additional support to get through the school system. I think one thing I want to ask you, Dr. Cecelia, is at the webinar, I'm quite sure you'll probably have do you foresee where you'll be introducing additional, if there's going to be additional courses and different resources that you'll direct parents to get additional support if they need it, especially if we have parents who are they're joining outside of the Atlanta, Georgia area. If they're in other states, will you have other state resources for some of those individuals?
Okay, so the first webinar, consider all the webinars education, right? So the first webinar is going to be telling about School Life Ready's therapeutic intervention program. So the first webinar is going to be letting people know everything, all the components that's involved in the program. Subsequent webinars will deal with different topics, and these topics are going to be based on the input that I get from the parents and the other professionals as to what people really want to know, because what we're trying to do is meet people where they're at and give them information what they need. I'm not going to be doing webinars just on broad topics, right? It's going to be exactly what our community needs, what this School Life Ready community needs, what the parents need. That's what we will be providing. So if there are other people from different states, I mean, we're in Georgia, but people can register from any state you're in, because right now the information that's being presented is not state specific, it's child specific, right? So wherever in the world you are, it doesn't matter, because children are children, and it doesn't matter where the parents are. Everyone who's having any type of issues, we kind of collectively share in what issues we have whenever we are parents and we have children who are in school. It's so it doesn't matter where they are, they can always come. However, definitely in subsequent webinars, your topics your topics of interest, your questions, those are going to be addressed, and they'll be addressed in community-based webinars as well as podcasts, because the podcast will have experts that are going to speak on specific topic. Future webinars are going to be for people who are part of School Life Ready, wherein they send in their questions and we have the webinar and we do our questions and answers. And people are going to have access directly to me as well as part of this program, wherein they can get to me anytime they need to get to me to present their questions, and I'll be there for them to answer their questions.
And you said what was that start time again? You said
7 p.m. next Tuesday, July 30th.
And that's Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Standard Time, yes.
Wow. Doc, I've never seen you so animated.
I am right. It's like I'm getting more excited. Like
you are fired up. I'm telling you. You're jumping through the screen.
And listen, the school year is starting, right? For Georgia, we start next week. Well, the staff goes back this week. The staff goes back this week in some counties, but the students all start back the first week of August, the second week of August. So parents are ready, and parents, in order to have a successful year, you have to prepare. So that's why I'm so excited, because I'm here to tell people, start early. Don't wait till things start happening and then you're running to trying to find resources to help your child. Be prepared, get the knowledge, get set up so you can be off to a good start, because there's certain things that you need to put in place to ensure a follow through, right? You don't want to wait till things are falling apart. You're like, oh my God, I need this, and no. I am here to guide you to the things that you're going to need to have things set up, because with good organization and good planning, things work better. Good structure, we call it structure, having structure, making sure that we have routines. Those things help us to reduce the stress, because again, parents, you don't want to wait until you're stressed out or you see wherein your child needs certain supports. The best thing to do is to have the information ahead of time and prepare. That way you can help to alleviate a lot of the stress on yourself. And guess what? Alleviate the stress on your child. Because when children have structure and have routine and have organization, that helps to reduce tantrums, that helps to reduce their anxiety, that helps to reduce frustration. So let me be your guide to help you off to a good start. SchoolLifeReady.com.
School Life Ready. Mr. McCook, do you have any questions for Dr. Cecelia? I see over there listening and just watching her. She's all worked up.
Yeah. Yes, I must say, yes, I see the energy there, Doc. When you have a passion for something, it exudes, it's coming out through the pores. I was just making notes of the schoollifeready.com, and Donna asked a question, when does it start? So it's going to be, the first webinar is going to be on the 30th at 7 p.m. That's correct? Yes. Okay.
That's the first, yes. So that's like the intro. That's the kickoff webinar, guys. That's the kickoff webinar. And then subsequently, we're going to have webinars. Most of our webinars are going to be Tuesdays at 7. So that's the time that you should be able to log on and see a webinar going on. If we don't have a webinar going on, we might have a podcast, or we might be having a family meeting, because everyone who joins with School Life Ready, it's family. So those are going to be, maybe we're doing a question and answer night. Maybe we're talking about a specific topic as a family, or maybe we might have experts coming on and sharing. But practically every Tuesday night at 7, we're going to be having an engagement because we need to stay consistent and we need to be here for each other because parents we just need to support each other, right? And we're going to be having school teachers, therapists, all as part of the family. So now we have people who we can turn to, who we can ask questions because I don't know everything, but as a village, I am pretty sure we will be able to answer every question that comes up as it pertains to a child's ability to perform in school. So we're gonna be ready and we're gonna be good.
Okay,
We're gonna be great.
have a good friend who recently retired as a teacher, and she's actually I would say my activity director at the personal care home. So she comes by once a week with a little kit, and basically they come by and see what what the population is that that they have there, so she knows what to bring. So I'll introduce her to you, and possible you can have her as one of your guests, or however you need to use her. So I'll make that
Okay,
connection.
that's great. We're always looking for people to be part of our community.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Okay. Okay. So sounds good. So this now is and this is this. Tell us about where this came from. What's the brainchild? What? How did this come about?
Okay, so this has been in the making for a few years. So what happened is during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
where we were no longer seeing the kids were out of school, everyone was online, and kids were not able to go to clinics to get their therapies. I realized that I started being because I'm an occupational therapist, a pediatric occupational therapist. I realized that therapy involves so much more than just working one-on-one with the child because we weren't able to do that anymore. And what I did learn is that parents that were now more involved because typically when the kid is in school, the therapist is in the classroom, right? And working with the kid one-on-one or working with the whole class, but at least they're physically there. And then in the clinic, it's normally just the therapist with the child, just doing activities. And the parents are not typically in the room. And when I realized that when we had COVID and the parents were always in the room, because now the child is home and we're doing it virtually, I realized so much of therapy wasn't about working one-on-one with the child. It was about providing the parent with the information so the parent can implement just basic things within the child's routine at home that will help the child practice these skills that they need to be successful. And guess what? We were getting more practice because normally a child comes to the clinic one time a week, 60 minutes. When the child is home with mom and dad, and mom and dad is providing the child with the activities at home, embedding the activities within the child's daily schedule, there are way more opportunities for practice. And what helps to build skills? Practice, right? Any sport, you can't play it unless you practice. Homework, that's practice. So the child doing all these things at home with the guidance of the parent was more beneficial than just that one time a week with the therapist. Plus, after the pandemic, we had a lot of research that came out to show that virtual therapies, teletherapy, was more effective, or at least as effective as the direct one-on-one therapist. Because before the pandemic, insurance companies wouldn't pay for teletherapy. Now they're doing it because they're realizing it takes away so many of the barriers to receiving therapy when you have the therapist being able to see the child, consult with the parent, and see the child in their natural environment and then performing skills. That way now the barriers are removed, there's more access, the therapists are more consistent, and it's a win-win. Because as a therapist, I can tell you the worst thing you want is to be providing therapy and not seeing improvement. No therapist likes that. Because it's your work. And then if you take it personally. If I ever had a case wherein I'm working with a child and I'm not seeing, when the goals are set and I'm not seeing improvement, I take it personal because it's me. I have to make it work. But I also do understand that when parents are involved, they enhance my skills, right? They enhance me. The parents, you're not the therapist, you're the parent. But with my guidance, telling the parents what therapeutic activities to do, how to do them, that helps for everyone to win. The child wins, the parent wins, and I win. So that's where the motivation came from, just realizing that children can get so much more. And here's another thing, therapies on a whole, a lot of time the child has to qualify for therapy. They have to qualify before insurance pays for anything. They have to qualify before the school will give them therapies. So there's so many kids who are falling within these cracks who can't qualify for whatever reason, right? But the parents can now know that if my child doesn't qualify for individual therapists through the insurance or through the school system, I'm working with my child. I have this resource from School Life Ready who is here to help me get these therapeutic activities, who's going to give me a plan specific to my child to work on my child's skills. So I'm not going to, me as a parent or the parent does not have to be feeling devastated that their child needs something and they can't get it, because School Life Ready has the plan. School Life Ready is here to bridge that gap or fill that gap then, wherein the child needs something and we're not throwing our hands up in the air and going, oh, he doesn't qualify. Oh, no, they say he can't get it. Or cost. Cost is such a big factor to a lot of families who can't want to travel to clinics is one thing. Two, if you don't have the insurance, you have to pay out of pocket. So this is another way wherein we're removing the cost barrier, wherein you don't have to pay. If you have the money, so don't get me wrong, if you have the money and you have everything and you have the insurance, then go ahead, get your direct therapist. However, if you don't have the money, you don't have the insurance, believe me when I say School Life Ready will help you get the best therapeutic advice, therapeutic consultations to help your child. So you don't have to feel that frustration of not being able to give your child what it is you know your child needs. So School Life Ready was born out of all this that I have seen for years as a therapist. So COVID played a big part with me gelling the idea, but I've always realized and always felt that it wasn't right, wherein because a child can qualify for Medicaid because the parent doesn't make enough money. They can qualify for Medicaid and they can get their therapist, or the parents, they have disposable income at the end of the month so they can get their therapist. But all these kids in the middle can't get therapists because they're not poor enough to get the Medicaid and the other insurance, and they're not making enough to pay for these therapeutic services. So this I am, when I tell you I'm excited, I am excited because I know there's so many families, but once they come to the webinar and see what School Life Ready has to offer, I know they're going to be, I'm in. I just know it. I know they're going to be, I'm in.
And you know what? Can I
So,
say
yeah.
you made such a valid point when you said that with the payment structure, right? You have the families where they're in that middle. They're not rich enough to afford the help their children need, and they're not poor enough to get the help the children need. And so you have this set of group that's in the middle where those children unfortunately end up falling through the cracks. So having somewhere to go like School Life Ready to provide and help with some of those resources, this is something that's really needed. And like always, I commend you for doing this. So I'm really excited for it. But I totally get what you're saying with that part where with the insurance and the financial barriers that some families they don't know where to go and they don't have the resources, but they need the help. So if you're out there and you're listening in this category, go to the webinar July 30th. 7 p.m.
I think this is a good time to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. When we come back, we've talked about the webinar and the podcast. Dr. Cecelia, we're going to ask you just to give us an insight as to what a session will look like. Just to give us an insight on that. So let's take a quick break and come back, and then we'll talk a little bit about that, okay?
Like them high decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Like them high decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight, the home of raw, unfiltered information. And Dr. Cecelia, we've been talking about School Life Ready, and we talk about the webinar. And of course, that's informational and educational. We talk about your podcast, but can you take us out of there into the actual session? What does a session look like?
When you say session, you mean what the webinar is going to look like, or what
When
the
you have
program is going to look
a
like?
program is going to look like with an actual student or a child.
Okay, so this program follows the school calendar. So what we do at the beginning or whenever your child enters the program, but let's talk about just this coming August. Say you're like, you know what, this sounds like a great program. I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
First, we do an evaluation. And the evaluation is really an assessment of, okay, how is your child doing in certain core skills in terms of your child's physical skills, your child's intellectual skills, your child's social skills, language skills. And we look at that as the skills that they need to have a good time in school, so to speak. So we don't want them to have any frustrations during school, because we know frustration leads to deficits with learning and all that stuff. So we look at your child's skill level, where they are right now. Also, if your child has an IEP, we go through that IEP, because the IEP would have already had goals and objectives that the school is going to be working on. So we look at the IEP and we see what areas your child is having difficulties in. Now, a lot of times we'll have parents say, the IEP says this, but really and truly, that's not what I want to worry about. So that's when, in the evaluation, the parents' concerns are taken into consideration. Okay, what are you worried about? Where do you see your child at the end of this school year? What do you want your child to gain? So we do an individualized evaluation. Now, this evaluation is a checklist. It's not a standardized test. It's a checklist, and it's a communication between the therapist, who more than likely will be me, and the parent, right? Then we look at the evaluation results, and from the interview that's done with the parents and what the parents' concerns are, and we create a plan. So in this plan, we're going to have the areas that we want to work on. For some kids, it might be handwriting. Parents may be like, oh, the handwriting is so sloppy, or, oh, he can't finish his work in a timely manner because he's having difficulties with handwriting. Or it might be, oh, he can't sit still and pay attention. He's having a difficult time. He's always running around and getting in trouble. Whatever is important to the parents that is affecting the child, we're going to take those, we make them into actionable plans. So a kid who has a handwriting difficulty will be like, okay, we want the child to be able to complete handwriting assignments within a certain time frame. So that would be one thing we're going to work on. With a kid who can't sit still and having difficulty, was like, okay, we want the student to be able to remain seated and engaged, because we don't want them just to remain seated, right? Seated and engaged for a certain time frame. So whatever the objectives are, we make them. Then the parents will receive to their email a list of activities, and it's going to be just enough not to overwhelm anyone, and it's going to be strategically designed activities for the student. So there are a lot of programs online wherein you can sign up and you get worksheets sent to you and you get activities sent to you. However, those are not tailored to your kid. You'll be getting a bunch of worksheets that you're not even needing. But with our program, only what you and your child needs is going to come to you. Then we're going to have 6 to 9 weeks of working on that activities and providing those activities. During that time, the parents will have access to me if they need to send me an email. Plus, we're going to have those weekly meetings. So if anything is going on during that time, you're not left alone. We're here to support you. After the 6 to 9 weeks, we're going to do what we call a progress monitor. We got to see, okay, if what we're doing, is it working? Because one thing we don't want to do is just keep going and going and going, and it's not working. So we meet again within the 6 weeks to 9 weeks period, and then we reassess. Do we still need to work on this? Do we still need to, do we put in some more objectives, or do we add to the plan? Do we refer out and be like, okay, this kid needs speech therapy, not the activities that we're doing, or does this kid needs to have a behavioral intervention plan, right? So 6 weeks, 6 to 9 weeks mark, that's where we do that. Then the next 6 to 9 weeks is when the semester ends, right? So a semester is 18 weeks. So at that point, again, we do the assessment again, just to see with what we're working. And parents will be able to cancel from the program anytime after the first 9 weeks, because if something is not working for you, I think you should find what's working. And again, I can tell you, I'll be the first person to say, guys, this is not working. This is what you need. And I'll make a referral. I'll tell you straight up. I'm a very straightforward and honest person. All the parents who have worked with me, they know I'm going to tell them as I see it. If this is not for you, this is not for you. You don't have to feel obligated. If you want to stay because you're seeing the benefits, then absolutely. Who walks away from good? Nobody walks away from good, right? So that's what the program is going to look like. But the key is providing those therapeutic activities to address the deficits that the student is having. And that's what it's going to look like. That is what the program will look like. And the support, we're here, as I said, family, right? Questions. Y'all know IEPs come up. And this is a very big one. A lot of parents, the IEPs are coming up. They don't know how to even prepare for an IEP meeting. What are the questions to ask at an IEP meeting? As a community, we're there. You're going to have those answers. When I tell you, your stress level will be so reduced knowing that you have a family to help support you and your child through this school year process. There's so many things that come up. Y'all know, even communicating with the teacher, making sure that you're getting your, for some parents, they need to know what it is the child is doing in school. That communication from we call that the school to home to school communication. All that, we're there to help you to say, this is how you organize. These are the type of questions you need to ask your teacher. When you have those parent teachers meeting, this is what you want to know. Not just blindly going there for the teacher to be spewing stuff to you and you have no idea what's going on with your child, right? And because most times parents, where the children are doing well, they're not the ones the teacher really wants to see. The teacher wants to really help the ones who are not doing well. not really doing well. And teachers are always there to help parents, but making sure that communication is open. We're going to be there to help you. As a team, we're there for all of your school needs. School life ready.
So gone is that broad brush approach. School life ready is specific, it's needs based for the child and the parent, I should add, because it's a
That's the best way to sum it up, Dr. Laxley. That's the best way to sum it up. Gone are the broad brush wherein, oh, here's some activities, do it. No, you're going to know, and not only just the activities. Remember, because in order to get, especially when it comes to muscle building or developing motor skills, when you do the activities, you have to do them a certain way. So, what's the point of you getting a whole activity list of do it, of do this, do that? Because even like people who say you're working on building your biceps, you're working on your muscles, there's a form. You have to write, you have to have the right form. So I'm like the coach telling you, okay, when you have your child slot in pennies, I'm just using that as an example. You want to develop their pincer skills. Have to make sure that they're using their thumb and their pointer. They're not doing this. A lot of kids do this. That's not what we want. We want this. This is pincer. This is when your child is picking up the coins off the table. You don't want them to slide the coin. You want them to use their thumb and their pincer to actually pick the coin up, right? So it's not just about getting a list of activities. It's also those activities are tailored to your child's needs, and you will be provided with directions and instructions and support to make sure that every time your child picks up a coin, they're picking it up the right way and they're developing those fine motor skills that need to be developed in order for them to be able to button their buttons, right? Because this is the same motion. So there's so much that goes into what we're doing, and it's so important. And this is a way to help parents understand so much more. You get that aha, because I know what I just said just now. A lot of people are like, aha, yes, this is a pincer. That's the fine pincer. Yeah, that's the same motion to button a button. They have to hold the button like this and have the strength to be able to push it through. That's why my baby can't button, because he's using all these different fingers and not making it happen, right? So a lot of aha moments. I know parents are going to learn so much to help support their child, their child. So again, excited.
What's the, is there an age group, or is it elementary? Is it what are you focused on a specific age group, or elementary, middle school, or anything?
No, from pre-K
Mhm.
through 12th grade.
Okay.
From pre-K through 12th grade. So the kid who is in pre-K is going to have a different level of deficit to do stuff, right? In high school, like the kids in pre-K, they might be more motor stuff. The kid in high school, it might be more attention, organization, those executive functioning skills to be able to organize their homework, to be able to develop study skills, habits, all that stuff. So it's a different um, focus, but anything I'm telling you, school is not just reading, writing, and math. There's so many different components to learning and performing and executing. And what typically in school, your measurement is good grades, right? Good grades. That's the measurement. However, with School Life Ready, we're not telling you that you're going to necessarily have good grades, because there's so much that goes into getting the good grades, right? But you will be able to develop those components that you will, hopefully you'll be able to get the good grades, but you'll have the skills needed to be able to perform. Because so much of the grades in school is not always about what you do on the test, especially the classroom grades. Is did you turn your homework in? You know how many kids I know, including my own child at the time, when it's so funny because when it's your own child, it's a little bit different than when you're given therapeutic advice. But when my child was first not being able to pass certain classes, and I would meet with the teacher and I would say, so why is he failing? And they would look at me and they don't know why the kid is failing, especially when your child is in a regular ed. They don't know why the teachers don't know why the kid is failing. They just know they failed. They didn't get the marks. But when you're working with School Life Ready, you will know, you know why he failed? He didn't turn in his homework, right? Because he's forgetting to do the homework, or sometimes the kids do the homework and they don't remember to turn it in. There's not a system in place wherein we're like, okay, this kid has attention deficit disorder, so we need to put things in place to ensure that he's turning in his homework. So we might have maybe we'll set up an organization system, or we'll just have a communication system with the teacher. Be like, okay, please remember to ask Johnny for his homework because he has it. But because Johnny has attention deficit disorder, he's not remembering to turn his homework in. So there are a lot of things that go into passing a class, right? That has nothing to do with the academic knowledge, but your ability to organize, your ability to stay focused with constant movement going on around you, all those different things that School Life Ready as an occupational therapist I will be able to help work on those performance skills that the child needs to be successful. Because there are quite a few of them. But when we do the evaluation, that's when we're going to be looking at those things. Now, back to Gary's question about the age. So the pre-K, kindergarten, and the first grade evaluation looks different from the second grade to fifth grade evaluation, right? So I'm servicing all the kids, but their evaluation is different because certain skills that are needed at a certain age, like certain kids don't have yet. That's not what we're focusing on. So for the pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, we're focusing more on those fine motor skills. Can the child form letters? Can the child write on a line? Can the child use a scissor to cut out shapes? Can the child copy what they see? Right? So those things we're going to see in the pre-K, kindergarten, first grade. In the second to fifth grade, then we start throwing in, can the child pay attention? Can the child follow a three-step command, right? So there are different components to the evaluation. So the evaluations are age specific. Well, grade, not age, grade specific. And then the middle and high school is the same evaluation. Does the child turn in their work? Does the child organize their materials? Those more executive functioning type things are in the middle and high school evaluation.
Dr. Cecelia, thanks for taking us into the program. Now, you've been in the public school system for some time. You've worked in the system. You've seen the problem firsthand. And so you have lived experiences. Now, a parent listening would want to know something about your qualifications. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, so I have been an occupational therapist since 1997. I have, so when I first left college, I worked in an outpatient rehab. So working with hand injuries, gunshot wounds, motor vehicle accidents, anything like that. So that's acute outpatient. But I had gotten a scholarship wherein I had to give service back to repay my scholarship. So I took a job at a preschool for children with disabilities. So they had what was called a reverse inclusion program, wherein they would bring typically developing preschools from the community in to be with the preschoolers with disability. And that's where I fell in love. I fell in love working with children, and I never went back to outpatient rehab. So in 1998, I started working in New York in a preschool with children with disabilities. And then I worked there for 5 years and I moved to Georgia. When I first moved to Georgia, I did what's called Babies Can't Wait. So Babies Can't Wait is the early intervention program from birth till 3. And I would go to homes and daycares and provide therapeutic activities to the daycare staff and the parents. So I've been doing this for a long time. So that was when that model is kind of the same that I'm providing now. It's just that it wasn't online. It was directly in the home, being in the home with the parents and being in the daycare with the daycare staff to provide those therapeutic activities at that time. And then I did that. Well, I kept doing that for many years, but while doing that, I started working in the school system, and I been working in the school system. In the school system, I would see those pre-Kers, because once the child comes out of the Babies Can't Wait program, they're now eligible for the pre-K program. So I would see kids from pre-K all the way through high school. So what I'm doing again, I've been doing it all for many, many years, like over 20 years now. I've been providing therapeutic strategies to parents, teachers, and providing direct one-on-one with kids. Also, in 2008, then I opened my own clinic where the children would come to me and I would see them one-on-one. So I have a continuum of practice doing this for over 20 years, focusing on improving the children's lives. But in doing this for all these years, the parents, I have so much appreciation for parents, and especially for parents who have children with disabilities and learning challenges, because it's a different world. It's not the same. Any parent who has a child with a disability or have a when you have to deal with special education, it's a different world. And I'm sure, Donna, you can attest to it, how of a different world it is. It's like, they have this poem about Holland, right? You know that poem, Donna, about when you have a child and you're thinking you're going to be going to France, but you realize that you ended up in Holland. And Holland is also a beautiful place,
Just
and
different.
it's great. Huh?
Just different.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful place. It's just different. It's a different place. It's still beautiful, but it's a different place and also have different challenges, right? In France, in Paris, beautiful, has its challenges. Holland, same thing. So when you have a child with a disability, you're going through this, sometimes you just need a little help to help you navigate Holland, right? It's still beautiful, but want to help you enjoy it as much as possible. You want to reduce the barriers, you want to reduce the frustrations, you want to reduce the stress. And it takes people who understand to help you through that. So yeah, that's what School Life Ready is all about. Really being there for the parents as well as the children, right? And that's my trademark. And all the parents, I have parents right now who I don't even see their kids anymore, but they still call me up and they still ask me questions, right? And I'm still there. I'm still family. We will always be family. So so not only do I have the years experience of doing it, it's like I have the passion so much for it and to help families out and to help kids out. I mean, kids are near and dear to my heart. Like every child is like my child. So it's so important. And every parent that I work with right now, there's no advice that I give that I wouldn't give to myself. It's always about what's best for what I think. Now, granted, am I always right? Am I going to always be right? No. But that's why I have resources. That's why I have a network. That's why we need each other. So that's what it's all about. That's really what School Life Ready is all about.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cecelia. Talk about passion, talk about purpose. You're in it, and really appreciate that. In a program like yours, School Life Ready, that is focused on parents and child in an individualized way, needs driven. So I see that as something that is so critical, so important, so necessary. So I commend you and congratulate you, and looking forward to the webinar. And just a good thing all the way around. I'm going to pass it on to Donna. We're coming close. We're drawing down on time. So Donna, is there anything any questions, Donna, Gary, that you have for Dr. Cecelia?
She basically answered the ones I had a while ago. So very informative. I was even thinking that at some of the stages that you talk about the different first grade and coming up, at times you may have someone who is entering maybe the third grade, just say the third grade, who is lacking what they should have had from pre, so they can play catch up for the want of a better word. So very interesting. Good luck to you, and keep the passion going.
Thank you.
Well, I don't have any questions because, of course, you were very thorough in providing the information about School Life Ready. But, of course, I definitely commend you on what you're doing. And, I have your support, and I'm quite sure that somewhere in School Life Ready, Donna Thompson will be somewhere in the weeds there supporting you, because I definitely know firsthand experience how challenging it is, and the anxiety for parents having to go through the school system and dealing with an IEP and all the variables and the different things that goes along with it, and not really having a support system or a resources that you need to help you navigate through the entire school system. It's a lot. So very, very, very excited for what you're offering.
Good evening, Pastor Lexi. Thanks for joining us. Thanks. Appreciate you coming on. You know, before we close out and before we go to final argument, I'm going to ask Gary to talk a little bit more about GIFs and the event coming up. Gary, can you just take us through this again, please?
All right. So again, GIFs, it's with the acronym, it's the Jamaica International Independence Foreign Song Competition. And it's basically us here in the diaspora trying to maintain that connectivity to Jamaica. Our motto actually is loving you from afar. So although we're far away from our island in the sun, we still love that island and want to kind of maintain the cultural experience we had when we were younger in Jamaica, independence time. We find that the artists here, it's difficult for them to partake there, or the rules and regulation really does not allow us to. So we had to come up with a solution, and GIFs is the platform created for that solution. So the artists over the last 4 years, we have identified about 60 artists who, under normal circumstances, would not have had that opportunity to perform and show us what they have. So we still have it in us. It's a 501c3 organization. We ask you to come out on July 27th and support the 7 artists that will be flying in from all over the world to perform live and give us a good evening of entertainment. We'll have some local entertainers, Rhythms, Kathy's group, Rhythms of the Caribbean will be there. And we have some other surprise local artists that we're trying to promote the local artists. And we have, I was told yesterday, we have about, I don't know, it was 500,000 or whatever it is. It's a large number of Jamaicans in Georgia. And I always say, no Jamaican event here should have an empty seat. It should be a standing room only, because we just have to support each other. So again, JIIFSC, looking forward to seeing you here. Dr. Lax is a vice president with us from day one of the founding members. And we appreciate his help and his input and his continuous guidance because we look at him as the big brother. If you notice, he has a nice little thing going there. That's a big brother look. So again, we're here in our 4th stage, and everyone on here who's on the panel tonight have been a part of it. I must say, Dr. Cecelia and Donna, integral part of the. So it's a togetherness. It's a working towards a common cause, and just like how we're going to support Dr. Cecelia on her venture, we expect you to do the same here. And GHN and Collision with Purpose, and anything that we do, we try and support each other. But GIFs is here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a great Saturday afternoon. So come out, have some fun. Our website again is jiifsc.com. Thanks again. Have a good night.
You know, I'm looking at the platform. The 4 of us here, we actually have 4 organizations, right? And this very platform right now, and each of us could represent one, but we all belong, to the organization. We have Global Humanity Network, of course, our nonprofit organization. We have GIFs, another nonprofit agency, doing great things in the community here in the United States, in the diaspora, right? Not just United States, but all over, outside of Jamaica. We have Dr. Cecelia Lynch-Mitchell with, School Life Ready. And what a big deal that is, right? Because you have these young kids and these parents out there. These parents are lost. Quite often they're lost. They're already challenged with a child who is not necessarily on point with certain things. And now, and then have to go deal with that, with their frustration, and go manage that situation. So what Dr. Cecelia is providing her and her team at School Life Ready is not just comfort, but bring calm to the situation to help them, just maneuver around, with the knowledge that she's going to share, the information that she's going to share. So I can't say enough about what you're doing, Doc. And you, Gary, what you've done, what you're doing, because you didn't say anything about the prize money.
Okay. So prize, the prize, we have to find a way to incentivize the artists. And we came up with a first prize of $8,000 US, plus a trophy. Second prize, $4,000 plus a trophy, and $1,000 for third prize. We have 7 finalists, and our goal is to one day be able to give each artist something, if it's even $1,000. But again, we need your support. We need you to go onto the raffle, buy the raffle tickets. That will help us in our cause. JIIFSC.com. And again, so this competition again is for Jamaican artists or artists of Jamaican descent who are living in the diaspora. And we are here to complement the local in Jamaica, not to compete with them. So we made sure we had that as a criteria, that we don't have cross tiers competing with each other. So again,
we're just adding value. We're not competing. We're adding value, and that's what we're doing. Just as Dr. Cecelia is doing. Doc, your program definitely, there's a competitive advantage that you offer in that you're not into this broad brushstroke thing. You are very specific and focused. It's individualized, needs driven, and I just love that about what you're doing. So we're here at the Collision with Purpose, at GIFs, at what else? Global Humanity Network. We're all here to support. It's the same community, right? So we're all here to support till we. Who was it that said we're going to support till we can't support no more? Till we run out of it. So Donna, final thoughts, please.
So my final thoughts, of course, thank you, Gary, for joining us this evening. Definitely putting out there that we have to support GIFs. It's going to be a great event. I've had the pleasure of being there twice and totally enjoyed myself. So it's absolutely a great event. Dr. Cecelia Lynch-Mitchell, thank you for joining us this evening. It was an absolute pleasure having you, and I definitely see your passion for School Life Ready. I know it's going to be successful. So just continue the path, and that's something great that you're doing. For all the our guests, I definitely appreciate you. We appreciate you, Dr. Stephenson. Thank you for having this platform for us so that we have a place to come and as a community, share our resources, share our knowledge, and it's something that's very valuable that it is definitely needed in our community. So thank you for providing that for us. And I would like to say thank you to all our listeners for joining us this Monday evening. Thank you for spending the time with us. I hope you found the information that we provided to be of value to you and your family and friends. Go out there, share it, and just continue to support us. And have a wonderful Monday evening and a blessed rest of the week.
Awesome. Doc, you have anything you want to take us home?
Well, I just want to say again, thanks to a Collision with Purpose, because what that organization has done has really provided support to so many, not just who is on the screen tonight. And thank you so much, Dr. Laxley, for being who you are and giving all of us this platform that we can share our skills and our talents and our resources, and bringing in people from all over the world to join us on our mission to serve. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is serving humanity. We're serving each other. Every information that we have, we're passing it, because knowledge is power. So thank you again. And for everyone who has tuned in, know that that's what we're here for. You can't go wrong tuning in, because you're going to learn something, or you're going to get something to help propel you to give your day a boost, and to help you into the next day, and to help your friends, your family, because this platform, we share knowledge, we share what we know, and that's what we're doing, to empower each and every one that is hearing us tonight. So that's my take tonight.
And what a beautiful take that is. We have so much more coming. We have Today with Donna coming. We have Dr. Cecelia, School Life Ready podcast. And man, that is going to be something special, right? So I know we got to get out of here. With so much more coming. We have my co-host, Juan. He's going to come on the Collision with Purpose platform, and he's going to have his talk as well. So we'll be on. We're going to be on. We're going to be doing stuff. So, and I know we continue to do it with consistency, with commitment. Guess what is going to happen? Good night, folks.
Good
Thanks
night.
for joining us tonight. Blessings always.
Locked in my decision to have a collision